I never thought I'd say this, but the All-Star game itself is what saved All-Star weekend this year. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought in a million years I'd say the All-Star game is what saved All-Star weekend this year. But that's exactly what happened. Friday night, there's celebrity game, trash. Rookie game, trash. Saturday night, the 3-point contest, the shooting stars, dunk contest, I don't even want to talk about it. All-Star game, it was a hit. Now, there's still some things I would tweak to the All-Star game, but I have to say the All-Star game saved All-Star weekend this year. Point blank, period.
Hey, what up, Buff said? So that Buff Sports, man. Appreciate it.
Little people, big people, all people. Welcome to Buffed Up Sports. I want to thank God for another opportunity to talk sports, and I want to thank you, the listener, for tuning in to me talking sports. Make sure you go to buffedupsports.com for links to my social media platforms, ways to donate to the show, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss the newest content. That all being said, hope you enjoy. So y'all, I want to give y'all an update before we get into everything regarding the All-Star weekend this year. I got some good news I want to share with y'all. Your boy got his Twitter account back. I got my Twitter account back. It's a whole story. But my advice, last time the advice was don't click links. Today, the advice is turn on two-factor authentication. If you don't have that on your devices, turn it on. You're going to need it if you're like me. So yeah, learn the valuable lesson. Turn that two-factor authentication on everything. So I do have that going for me now. Back to All-Star Weekend though. Let's go through the whole weekend as a recap. You know, let's just recap the whole thing. Sorry, Chauncey. Free Chauncey still. I told y'all in the opener, celebrity game trash. And I was actually looking forward to the celebrity game for a few key reasons. Glorilla. Sorry, Brandon Ingram. But I was watching for her. I ain't gonna lie, I was watching for Glorilla. Who else? Amon-Ra St. Brown, you know, our Lions guy. I'm watching for him. Who else was I looking at in the All-Star or in the celebrity game? Another Michigander, Keegan Michael Key. Looking at him. Who else do we have? This is my biggest gripe with the All-Star celebrity game. Excuse me. It don't hit the same. It's so many things about All-Star Weekend that don't hit the same. What is my gripe with the celebrity game though? Taco fall. And so personally, I don't have an issue with having former players in the celebrity game. That was not my problem. They've done it plenty of times, right? That's honestly the norm to have a former player in a celebrity game. The difference is that former player is not going hard. You know what I'm saying? Like they are not they are not trying to get a 10-day contract in the case of Taco Fall, who's arguably in his prime age, even though he's not in the NBA anymore. He hasn't played in a couple seasons. But if he honestly wanted to go play in the NBA right now, I'm sure somebody would look at him, or even a G League team. So it made no sense for him. No different than the WNBA players. This year there was no WNBA players, and you got to assume that has part to do with Unrivaled. However, they had Unrivaled last year during All-Star, still had WNBA players in it. I think it has more to do with the lockout that's looming with the WNBA. So with the NBA being over the WNBA, you got to assume that was part of the reason why there's no WNBA players in the game this year because of the lockout. But I bring up the WNBA players because even when the WNBA players are in the celebrity game, they're not going hard. You know, there's a key difference there. You don't go hard. Again, Taco, you look like you're going for a 10-day. What are you doing? You're going against people half your size, man. Relax. And then they're going to have the nerve to, like, hype up that he had a 20 game. He's 7'9". Like, come on, man. I didn't care for it. The rookie... And hold on, before I get into the rookie game, I say the celebrity game don't hit the same because back, you know how people do. Back in my day, first of all, the presentation. You had Stuart Scott hosting it, RIP. And then even the actual celebrities, I don't know who that one guy was with the red hair in that celebrity game, but the crowd screamed every time they said his name. So maybe it's my fault, for not knowing who it was. But even the celebrities didn't hit like it used to hit back in the day. We've had Bieber in the All-Star, a prime Justin Bieber. I'm talking about fresh off for dropping baby Justin Bieber in the celebrity game one year. Justin Timberlake's been in it. You had former athletes always. Again, Keenan Allen and Amara was in there this year. Past years you had Terrell Owens, and he did it a few years, and he'd go crazy. Again, not a basketball player though playing, so Usain Bolt's done it. The celebrities, Kevin Hart has done it. Ice Cube's played in it. Chris Tucker was known for being in there being pretty funny. The Globetrotters used to play in the celebrity game. Like, it actually was something you looked forward to watching on Friday night to get the All-Star weekend going. And it ain't that no more. It actually used to be funny. Now it's kind of just straight up ball, and it's kind of like, eh. What's up, everybody? If you didn't know, I am a car salesman at Gene Buttman Ford. I sell new, I sell used. Just let me know what you're looking for. And lucky for you, I do referral bonuses. So even if you're not looking for a vehicle at the moment, I have money for you if you refer a client to me. Again, I'm at Gene Buttman Ford, located at 2105 Washington Ave in Ypsi, Michigan. You could text or call me at 734-544-2870. Come see me so you can score big in the clutch and drive with the built Ford Tough Touch. Move the rookie game back to rookies and sophomores. Move it back to 2 20-minute halves. No different than how they do in college. I don't think the whole divided up team format thing worked. Maybe it gets more to, each player some more shine. Maybe it don't. I don't know how you want to look at it. I will say, I think I'm a casual when it comes to those rookies because I ain't know anybody out there. I know a couple of players. But, that's the point of the rookie game. You get to find out who's up and coming. Like, okay, this guy is playing on the big stage. This is somebody I need to keep my eye out on the rest of the season. I think part of my reason why I didn't like the rookie game, though, too, is because the Pistons got played. No Dennis Jenkins. No Ron Holland. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? 2 of your best sophomores in the league, and they don't even get a chance to play in the game, and they letting anybody play in it too, man. That was my problem. Ron Holland was snubbed, if nothing else. Dennis, fine, whatever. He just got signed to a full-time contract. He was a two-way player majority of the season. But Ron has been a key point of the Pistons offense and defense this year. A key part of the Pistons team this year. And he don't even get invited. I didn't like that.
Hey, it's your girl Caressa the Glow Shields, and I'm here with Buffed Up Sports.
Saturday night is the event that needs the most love. All-Star Saturday night. Back in the day, it used to go shooting stars, skills challenge, three-point contest, dunk contest, right? I like that they brought the shooting stars back this year. I do wish they tweaked it a little bit. It wasn't like the old shooting stars, for example. You didn't have a WNBA player this time. Again, I think that got part to do with the lockout. But back in the day, it used to be a current player, a WNBA player from that city, and then an NBA legend. So, for example, you had the Lakers. They would go Kobe, Lisa Leslie, Magic Johnson. Pistons. There go Chauncey, Katie Smith, Bill Laimbeer. That's just the way it was, right? And it worked, right? Yeah, it was cool. I would go back to that compared to 2 current players and a legend. I would go current WNBA legend. That's how I do it. I don't think they should do no more celebrity passing. Drewski ruined that. I don't know what Drewski was doing out there, but his pass was terrible. Get rid of the celebrity passer. They just trying to hype up everything, and sometimes less is more. But I would bring that back, and then bring it back by team or / city. I remember back in the day they did the Team Texas because at the time Texas didn't have they had a WNBA team, but they didn't have it was all over. Like you had a Houston Rocket player or like a San Antonio Shooting Stars player, and then a Dallas Maverick legend. They used to do it like that. I couldn't even get with that. But the whole team all-star, Chet Holmgren, Scotty Barnes, and then Rip Hamilton, what kind of combination is that? At least the other ones made sense. You had Team Knicks, you had Team Harper, Ron Harper and his sons. You had, those teams made sense to me, but the other teams, they they didn't move me like that. So I would change that part. Go back to having a city, for example, Phoenix. You know, Phoenix can have Devin Booker. Phoenix can have Kalia Copper. Phoenix can have Steve Nash. Bam, that's your lineup for the shooting stars right there. I do say bring back the skills challenge, but just have those rules in place and have it known that if you cheat and don't take an action attempt, you get disqualified. No different than last year. I think they started doing too much with the skills challenge. First, you had the OG skills challenge where you just got to get through the obstacles in the fastest time. Then they tried to bring it into a kind of competition, like I'm going against another person, right? And then we qualify for the next round. Excuse me. Then you got it to bigs versus guards. And then you got it to teams on the skills challenge. They did too much. Less is more. Go back to the old school skills challenge, right? Chris Paul, you ruined something we had. That was around for years. 3-point contest. I thought bringing Damian Lillard in was crazy. He won, though. It was a good chance to see Dame. I'm not complaining. He won. I can't even complain about that part. I'm complaining about the fact that's what the levels we had to stoop to make the 3-point contest somewhat entertaining this year. You had to go invite a guy who ain't played all year. If that's the case, where's Jason Tatum at? You know, like, come on, man. What are we doing? I didn't like that part. 3-point contest was pretty fair this year. Next year they hyping it up. Curry said he wants to do it. He said if he asks Clay, he know Clay gonna do it. Dame already said he's back in it. And then you had Steph said Devin Booker's gonna be in his hometown because All-Star Game's in Phoenix next year. So he's like, that's gonna be an easy one to bring in. That 3-point contest next year, y'all might want to tune in. That might be one for the ages. So I'm looking at that.
Yo, this your boy Superbad himself. And you know who I'm with. I'm with Buster Sports.
Yes, sir.
I know everybody always says it, but it might be time to end the dunk contest. And I was never one of those people, man. I'm like, nah, it just some years it's a hit, some years it's not. It hasn't been a hit in a few years. And Mac McClung is the only person keeping the dunk contest alive, and he ain't do it. But then he uploaded on social media the dunks he would have done. Just one of them. Just one of the 4 dunks he posted. Just one of them would have won the contest alone. So the fact he didn't do it, it hurts. But then you had a guy like Jace Richardson, who's not a dunker. You know, he ain't flashy. The boy almost had a concussion if he didn't have one. I honestly wouldn't be surprised they report he has a concussion, right? You had Keyshawn, what was it, Keyshawn Johnson? Danced his way through every dunk. And everybody laughed at him talking about this fool go dance through every dunk. That fool, y'all calling him, he danced his way through every dunk. And guess what? That's what won him the contest. Because, I mean, he had the crowd, the most crowd participation. You know, he had the most consistent dunks. They weren't flashy by any means, but he got the job done. And he was, for the most part, getting them done first try type deal. So when you got the participation from the crowd, you bringing out E40, you know, he into the moment, he dug in, he two-stepping on every dance, you know. Let him have it. But I think if they are going to keep the dunk contest, you got to include some prize money. You got to put some prize money in there that makes the players want to do it. I do agree. Hot take coming. LeBron did ruin the dunk contest. He did. And it's not just based off the fact he ain't do it. It's based off the fact he lied saying he would do it and didn't do it. That's what hurts the most. I'll never forget. I think it was Dwight Howard and Nate Robinson the year they was going at it. LeBron says, oh, next year I'm putting my name in the dunk contest, and then you don't do it. Like, come on, bro. That's weak. So I do think that hurt the dunk contest because LeBron never did it. And then once LeBron never did it, you kind of noticed a trajectory of players who didn't do it. All-star players, that is, they didn't really do it. And I get it, it's because they don't want to be embarrassed and all that, but that's why you got to put some prize money in there. But I ain't mad at the guys who do it because a lot of these last few years, it's been dunk contests with nobodies, right? They do the dunk contest and you never hear the guy name again. That's their way to get some shine, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, my man's from the Heat, Keisha, I never heard of him before the dunk contest. I admit it. I never heard of him. He did the dunk contest, and now people know who he is. If nothing else, they know him as the dancing guy that won the dunk contest. So be it. He got known. So Put some prize money in there. But if they not gonna put some prize money into the dunk contest, get rid of it, but replace it with I keep bumping Chauncey. Free Chauncey. Bump it into a 1v1 tournament. Bring on a one-on-one tournament. And I'm so glad Unrivaled did it during All-Star Weekend. At first, I was mad about it because I'm like, I got to choose which one I want to watch. No, I'm happy they did it because during All-Star Weekend, Unrivaled got a shout-out. For those who don't know, Unrivaled is a 3-on-3 women's basketball league. They're in their midpoint of their season. They did a one-on-one tournament with the winner winning about $200,000. Obviously, most folks know the argument with the WNBA right now. That's about a max player's salary. So that $200,000 meant a lot for these players, right? And you saw how hard they went. They going hard in a 1v1. So if the NBA can adopt something similar to Unrivaled, do a one-on-one tournament, even if it got to last the whole weekend, Friday night, start off with some players. Saturday night, you in a quarterfinal, semifinal. Sunday, before the game, or halftime, whatever the case may be, you do the championship. Unrivaled, I think they go first to 9 or 10. The NBA, they want out. If I'm the NBA, my tweaks would be you make all the All-Stars do it, right? That's first and foremost. All the All-Stars got to do it. And maybe not go to 9, go to 3, or shoot. If you want to really keep it going fast and knock it out one night, first bucket win, So I do something like that. At least think about it. But I think that's next. I think the one-on-one tournament is inevitable at this point because of how much of a hit it is with the Unrivaled. And I think the WNBA needs to do the same. I'll talk about their All-Star game, down the road. But it's some tweaks I'll make to the WNBA All-Star game. But I do think NBA, you got to add the one-on-one. We want to see them go at it. If they not going to do it in the All-Star game, this our one shot to see it, However, as I said in the beginning, I am shocked to say the All-Star game itself saved All-Star weekend. Never thought I would say that. Never thought I'd say that. This year's All-Star game was fun. You had Team World, Team Stars, a.k.a. the Team Youngheads, Young Bulls, whatever you want to call it. You had Team Stripes, Team Old Heads, OGs. You know what I'm saying? It was fun to watch. I actually put it on, not expecting much. By the end of each game, I'm sitting up I'm actually yelling at the TV, entertained. That's what the All-Star game used to be. That's what the All-Star game should be. It was fun, okay? I do have some tweaks. I think the OGs, Team Stripes playing 3 games straight, I think that did get their legs tired. So I don't know, maybe if they could find a way to figure that part out, a team avoiding 3 straight games. As my man's Ralph on Twitter said, he said, we was on Twitter, and I said that. I was like, I think the OGs got tired. No different than when you at the park with your boys. Winner stay on. Winner stay on. So maybe it isn't no tweaks there. Maybe leave it as is. But I do think that contributed to them getting smacked in that last game. The only game that was bad, by the way. All the first 3 games, entertaining by all means. Shout out Victor Wembanyama, because you could Anthony Edwards said it too. He said, shout out Wemby. Wemby went hard, and you could tell because Anthony Edwards during pregame, I seen this dude on with a chain, the hat tipped to the side. I said, I know he not about to go hard. Then Wemby, he said it. Wemby's the one that started it. And then you even had Obama there. President Obama was there, and Obama has said it before. He told Tyrese Halliburton in an interview, he was like, you guys got to fix that All-Star game. He said, what's up with y'all not trying? The fact, I think that President Obama was sitting courtside made those guys go, okay, we got the president here. Former president here. We got to go hard now. So I do think that was part of it too. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but come on now. How often do you get to say you get to play in front of a president? Whether you like that president or not. You gonna want to show out off rip. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the problem was the format. As fun as the format made it, you could argue, I don't think the problem was the format. I've said it before. I made a whole episode on fixing All-Star game. The format's not the problem. I don't think it matters what format you do. The problem is the players got to be willing to try. For years, we had East versus West until it got boring because the players stopped trying. They changed the format to the draft style. One captain from each conference, they picked their team. That did make it fun for a year or two. Then it got boring again. Then they added in the Kobe format, made it fun again for a year, and then by the next year, it's boring again. And then you finally brought it back to last year with the whole inner roster thingy-majig, which kind of made it fun, but the games was too short, which was the big complaint. This year, you're doing USA versus World, but 3 different teams. Again, the problem is not the format. If the players are willing to play, it will be fun. We've had how many All-Star games that were fun before this year's format? And why were they fun? Because the players were willing to play. You could argue that the format brings a freshness, a fresh vibe to the All-Star game, and maybe that's why the players are like, all right, let's go hard. And for all we know, Adam Silver might be giving them a pep talk like, look, we not finna go out here on them. Don't make me look bad. I done brought this new format and hyped it up. Y'all gonna make me look good, or all y'all ain't getting a check tonight. So maybe Silver giving them a pregame speech, but I don't think the problem's the format. And all the players complained this weekend about East versus West. My biggest issue with it is everybody complains about, we should go back to East versus West. But they've done it twice. They've went back, and it got complained about still. Again, I just told you, they did the East versus West, then they went to the draft. They went back to East versus West, and people still complain. So it's not the format. It's the players have to be willing to play. Simple. I do got to say this, though. Again, the games did, for them to be 1-quarter games, maybe that might have helped. Because, in the old All-Star game, 12-minute quarters, 4 quarters. If the fourth quarter, if it was still a close game, then okay, they'll go hard. But if it's not a close game by the fourth quarter, they don't care no more. And I get that. I think the 1 quarter did make a difference, though, because it made the game so short to the point like you kind of got to go hard or you're going to mess around and lose this game because you ain't got time to play catch up or you ain't got time to, just lollygag, so you kind of got to. So that was one thing. I was like, I feel like the quarters are too, like that kind of ruins how much time you get out there. But I think by it being so short of a quarter, it kind of made the players go like, we got to go now or we's in trouble. So all in all, 2026 All-Star game for the most part was not a success. All-Star weekend was not a success. All-Star game, considering you beat expectations, of course you're going to have things to complain about. If they said next year they're going to go back to the same format, I wouldn't complain personally, but you got to make sure the players are down to play. If the player's not down, it's not going to matter. So that's your biggest thing with the All-Star game. The players just got to be willing. As long as the players are willing, everything else will work out in the end. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for checking out Buffed Up Sports. Go to buffedupsports.com for the latest episodes, my social media links, and ways to support the show. Please subscribe so you'll never miss the latest with Buffed Up Sports. And make sure you send Buffed Up Sports to your peoples so they can be entertained just like you. Now, just remember to spread love. Keep your chest out. Hold your head up. Show off them pretty teeth. Don't you worry about a thing. Until next time, y'all be good out there, and God bless you all. Peace.